Good morning, YouTube. Hey, I just wanted to call your attention to something that the Pope said in an official speech that he gave. It was called the Address to Representatives of the Churches, Ecclesial Communities, and Other Religions. This is found on zenit.org. This is part of an official transcript of a speech that he gave. And he gave thanks to the greater church at large. He gave thanks to Jews and their history and how the Jewish faith is really part of the roots of our Christian faith. And then right down here in the middle of this address, he says, I then greet and cordially thank you all, dear friends, belonging to other religious traditions. First of all, the Muslims who worship the one God, living and merciful, and call upon him in prayer, and all of you. The one God. The one God. So in that statement, he's saying basically what popes previously have said and believe is that the God that the Muslims worship is the same as the God that Christians worship. This is just part of the end-time deception that is sweeping the world, the move toward a one-world religion where, tolerance of all faiths, whatever, doesn't matter, whatever you're worshiping, and hey, that'll work. All roads lead to heaven, right? Wrong. No, not all roads lead to heaven. But he's not alone. I don't want you to think I'm just picking on Catholics this morning. I'm a Baptist. Let's look at a famous Southern Baptist. This is from the site, And Now the End Begins. I'll leave the link in the description box below of all these references, but Chrisians Rick Warren partnering with Moss to teach that God and Allah are the same. Now, Rick Warren's a mega pastor of the big mega church Saddleback community out in San Diego. And I'm not even going to get off on all the errors that his theology contains. But it's amazing. Southern Baptists continue to adore him, invite him to events, inviting to annual meetings to be a keynote speaker instead of rebuking and admonishing him. And separating from his fellowship. But he believes that the biggest problem we have is we just need to convince, right down here at the bottom of this, he's got a 3-point plan. The plan's first step calls for Muslims and Christians to recognize that they worship the same God. Interfaith reconciliation has been proceeding for years between Muslims and other and more liberal-leaning mainline Protestant denominations. Yes, it has, and it is wrong, because we do not worship the same God. We do not. And any contact we have with Muslims should not be in holding hands and singing Kumbaya, pretending we're worshiping the same God. Our contact with Muslims should be evangelistic. We should be sharing the gospel with them, because their only hope is Jesus Christ. We're not worshiping the same God. I'm going to also include a link to this article, very scholarly work, done very well, found at BibleBelievers.org. Allah, the moon god, and he just does a wonderful job of tracing the development of the word Allah. All over the Middle East, archaeologists have uncovered artifacts and sites that indicate that these people of the Arab lands worshipped the moon god. Why do you think that all these Muslim countries, nearly all of them, have a crescent moon in their flag? You ever stop to consider that? Well, there's a good reason. Because the heart and soul of their religion is moon worship. From the mountains of Turkey, says, to the banks of the Nile. He talks about the development of the word Allah. They found records where early civilizations referred to the moon god as Elah, and then that kind of progressed to Al-Ilah, and then finally to Allah. It is the worship of the moon god. Now, I don't intend to inflame Muslims or infuriate Catholics or infuriate people who are going to big mega churches like Saddleback Community. But I'm just going to share with you that, the Bible makes statements of exclusivity. In Acts chapter 4, at verse 12, Peter said, "Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved." Peter was not a mega church pastor. He wasn't, delving out mush every Sunday after the rock band, whipped people into a trance after 45 minutes and then get up there and give a little fluffy dog talk. He gave the truth. There's none other name under heaven. That pretty well includes them all, doesn't it? Allah, Buddha, Muhammad. Just like Confucius. Just name them, line them up. There's only one whereby we must be saved. In verse 10, the confusion is cleared up there, if there was any. That name is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Have you placed your faith in Jesus Christ and what He did on the cross to be sufficient payment for your sins? I would urge you to do that. We are living, in some dark and epic times. This is the moment. This is the time. If you're a Muslim, come to Jesus. Explore what the Bible, the Christian Bible, says about this wonderful one, the wondrous Jesus Christ. If you're in a mega church and your church is involved in this Chrislam business, I'm going to tell you what, get out. Don't let Jesus come back and find you in that kind of mess. Come to Jesus. These are days to explore what's going on. Catholics, the same goes for you. When is it going to stop? How much heresy have you got to be exposed to before you come out of that terrible mess? That's all I got for today, and I'll be back in touch soon.